The regular meeting of the Board of Public Works is now in session. Well, first thing on the agenda, we'll have John Baker lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Eric Hopkins is going to lead us in prayer.
Please bow with me. Father, we thank you for your past leadership with Mayor Urban and his team, and as they pass the baton, our present leadership, Mayor Gordon, and this Board of Works. We seek your light for their way, wisdom for their direction. And God, we thank you for your protective hand upon them as they deal in trying times. Grant them unity, both in this room and out, that they may work together for the betterment of our community and the glory of our God. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay, if everybody will turn off their phones, silence them. We'll have roll call.
Jim Barrett,
Here.
Tim Bentley,
Here.
Harold Gordon,
Here.
Jerry Irvin,
Here.
Annette Reedman.
Present.
Okay, we'll have you received the copy of the minutes in your packets. Is there any additions or corrections? Move to pass. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, new business. We have a request for a bucket drive for the Knights of Columbus. Is that person represented here?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Richard Fain. I'm with the Connorsville Knights of Columbus, and I'm here to request permission to hold our bucket drive. We call it the Tootsie Roll Drive fundraiser for the Indiana Special Olympics. We'd like to hold that on the Friday and Saturday before Memorial Day weekend. It's the 27th and 28th of May. We'd be on the streets from 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. Friday, and from 8 a.m. until noon on Saturday.
Okay, and you want it 6th and Grand, 6th and Central, and 24th and Grand, is that correct?
We usually do just 2 locations on the street. The Central Avenue location works fine instead
Okay.
of 24th and Grand.
Okay,
So I'm happy to stay at those locations.
so 6th and Grand and 6th and Central. Is there
Yes.
any comments to the gentleman? Okay, I'll ask for the question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's see. Next thing is on the agenda is the request for a lien to be waived at 1240 Fayette Street. Is that you, Brad? Mike?
Janice Matney.
Yes. Oh, okay. Come to the podium.
Hi. This is the property I purchased at a tax sale, so I'm requesting that you waive the lien on that property. And also, I noticed like last month, I got a bill from them, and it kind of says that there's a previous bill amount due of $7.15. The date on this bill is 11/10/15 to 12/4/15. I've got another bill for another property in town that was 11/5/15 to 12/4/15. It is only $7.15, whereas this one's $14.30. And when I questioned them about this, it has something to do with when a deed transfers property, it generates a previous or a final bill. Really doesn't make sense to me that a property that constitutes less days than another property is double the price. So I'm a little, and it wasn't included on the lien amount either, so it's in addition to a 109.83 lien. So the total amount that I was requesting be removed is $116.98, which is a lien of $109.83 plus the $7.15 that for some reason, the way the software works, I guess generates a final bill and bills the person even though we can't touch these properties for a year anyway. So I'm a little confused about why the
Mike, you
software
wanna,
does
you wanna
that.
speak on it, Mike?
Yeah, I haven't really talked to her about it.
And I have copies, I have my bills here if you need to see like these dates and
Okay, I'm not
what
for
it
sure about
generated.
that, I'm not for sure about that last $7.15 one, but, it's a storm water only account. About the, shows around 10 months. The last bill was February 2014. It's 5621 with all the fees through the courthouse, ends up being 109.83, is that the total you got? Okay.
Plus this other 715, which I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't, I
don't get
didn't
it.
see that when I pulled your account
Yeah.
up, so we'd have to look at that. Pretty much, tax sales, normally, the new owner normally pays the liens and fees before the purchase, or at least know about the past liens. Is that true, Mr. Baker?
Yeah, right,
Okay.
yeah, they're a matter of record.
Example, mowing, liens, all that stuff, they normally know before purchasing the property. We don't come across this very often. I've been here a year, 6 months, this is the first one, so it's not something that happens all the time. But we can't waive it without Board of Works approval, so that's why she's here. But she owes about 10 months.
And
Like I
that 10
said,
months, I didn't really own it, really. I just had a lien on it.
Well, it's 1040, 1240 Fayette Street is her property.
At this
And
time,
like I said, it was a stormwater only account, so that was the stormwater fee. And like I said, it's around 10 months.
So what is your recommendation? You got a recommendation or anything to the board?
I think she should pay, everybody else pays it. But like I said, we can't waive it.
You're talking about the $7.15? Because I know I have the same situation, that I have to pay on 2 pieces of property, $7.15. The property is gone, but I'm still paying that fee.
I mean, especially, I don't want to argue with you. You ahead of time.
Well, no, I think there's a misunderstanding there. These fees are, all that's been already wiped off prior to purchase. When you purchase it, all that was wiped off and it kind of gets accumulated and paid for in the price you pay for the properties. But
Okay.
this whole time period is the time period in which you have to wait a year before you can take ownership of these properties and gives the regular owner a chance to come back and take them back. So this is that whole year where you're kind of in that wait state. And you can't touch the house, you can't do anything to it, so in the meantime, there you are with these bills accumulating on a house that you can't really touch, you don't really own. All you did was purchase a lien on the property, so that's this time period.
Right.
It's not prior to me purchasing it, it's when I actually purchased a lien on the property. So I didn't really own the property, so it keeps accumulating these bills. And normally, I think if we come and ask, you guys wipe them off. That's what I've always been told.
According to our paperwork, this 10 months is, it ended February 2014. So
See, I
it
didn't
was
even take
10 months
ownership until,
Like 2013, prior to that.
no, I just got deed in November of this 2015, and I had to wait a year. So the previous November
Right.
2014 is when I purchased the lien on it. So the whole time this accumulated is
I
when,
guess the
all I
point-
owned was
yeah.
a lien.
I guess the point is, Casey Smith actually owns the money, right? She was the owner of the property. You bought the property.
Right.
Right, so that carries on to the next owner. I don't say that.
So when you bought the
Really,
property,
I
you-
understand you didn't live there, but that property
And we can't
has a
touch them,
lien
so.
for $109 that Cassie Smith never paid. So it carries on to when the new owner is supposed to be responsible for that.
And in reality, I'm not sure she really owned it anymore.
Under the tax
because-
sale.
Yeah, because she,
if it was a
she had
commissioner
filed
sale-
bankruptcy and.
Then it'd be, the auditor would call us and say, waive it, and we would waive it. I don't need Board of Works approval for that. But being a tax sale, I would need approval to waive those, the $109.
There's a redemption period that the lady's talking about. From the time that you buy the certificate of sale or receive that, when you bid in the amount due at the tax sale, and they'll give you a certificate of sale. And that is in lieu of a deed, and the reason the deed isn't given is because there's a period of redemption whereby the owner or anyone can redeem the property if they pay everything that's due, including what Mr. Bottomley is talking about. If someone redeemed the property, they would have to pay any back taxes due, if any, costs for title work, attorney fees, other costs that the auditor may have, as well as any liens, including utility liens. So if anyone redeemed, they would have to pay that. No one did redeem, and you were given a tax deed, I presume. So you're now the fee simple owner of the real estate.
Correct.
And I think, as a matter of law, subject to that lien, I think that lien is due and payable. And it's a lien against the real estate. It would be due and payable against whoever the owner of that real estate is. And the interim period she's talking about, my recollection is the state legislature changed that, and there was a bill pending to allow the owner of or the purchaser of the certificate of sale to have access to the real estate to mow and that sort of thing, keep the property up until the period of redemption expired. I don't know, I'd have to research that, but that's my recollection anyway. But nevertheless, I think the money's owed by someone. Of course, you can waive it, but it is due and payable by someone, either the previous owner who let it go at tax sale, so I doubt that she's gonna pay it, the person that purchased that tax sale and got a certificate of sale and a deed eventually after the period of redemption. So it would appear that the amount is owed. The question is by whom, and I would say the purchaser of the property who should have knowledge of any liens on the property because they're a matter of record should pay it. That's my take on it, and again, it's your call because you have the authority to waive those penalties if you choose to do so, or bills, liens.
Okay, then I'll need a motion to deny or to waive.
Motion to deny.
Yeah, that's a different program.
I need a second.
I'll second it.
it.
Okay, we'll do a roll call vote.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Tim Bentley,
Yes.
Harold Gordon,
Yes.
Jerry Irvin,
Yes.
Annette Reedman.
Yes.
So that's to deny.
It's to deny. Okay, so your request has been denied.
What was that? I missed it.
Sorry, I was talking about the other bill.
Oh, it's been denied. You'll have to pay it.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, we need Chief Kipton up here, please. He's going to explain this billing for this annual agreement.
Okay, this is an annual maintenance agreement to maintain the compressor that fills our SCBA air bottles, which is our self-contained breathing apparatus bottles that we go in and fire. It's an air compressor, it has filters, and they come in 4 times a year and check for air quality. So it's the same price as it was last year. And they do it once a year as far as the contract that they come in and check it. 4 times a year, maintenance it.
Okay, I need a motion to accept this agreement.
I'll make a motion to accept this agreement.
Need a second?
Second.
I think we did. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the approval of Keystone Software for the annual maintenance agreement for the clerk treasurer's office. You want to speak to this?
It's broken down, it's $3,400 for the payroll with the direct deposit, The key fund is $3150, and then the asset account is $1,190, totaling the, where's the total? No.
That's
it's
enough.
all three. Right here's the total, $7,740.
So I need a motion on the floor to accept this.
Make a motion to accept this.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Passed.
Thank you.
Okay. I guess, Carol, you gonna speak to this on the handicap?
I see the request for the handicap parking space at 2323 Grand Avenue by Tommy Lee Williams. Is that what we're talking about? Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
I went to speak with him this morning and no one answered the door. I don't see a problem with the parking place. He does have there's actually letters from a nurse specialist and a nurse practitioner here.
So in your opinion, it's okay?
I don't have a problem with it. The first one I've dealt with, so. Actually, Sergeant Perkins kind of led me through that, so I didn't see a problem with it.
Well, I need a motion to accept this.
So moved.
Second?
Second. All in favor, signifying by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed.
Thank you.
Mike, are you coming back? Brad, you doing this one?
There it is.
Yes, here, you got an update here on agreement between Westlers Engineering for stormwater.
Yeah, I'm just talking to the customers first, you know. Yes, it's our MS4 agreement. I think you should probably have a copy of it. It's an annual agreement for the separate stormwater sewer system. They help us through it. If you notice on the agreement, some of the things that they are required to do for us, help us get our new permit, inspections of the facilities within the city. They're there for any time we have questions or concerns. They help us with record keeping. IDM inspects utilities once a year in the other facilities, and they help us through that inspection so we don't get any additional charges or fees. I bid this out, quote is out last year, and they came back the cheapest. I think we spent around $13,000 with them last year. I think this contract is up to $15,000. If it exceeds that, then they need permission to go any higher. But I know they've been using Westlers for this MS4 for years, and I hate the change. They know all of our ins and outs, and it's been a good partnership with them, but we do sign an agreement year to year with them. So I guess I just need it approved, and at the end of the meeting, I think you have to sign,
Okay.
which I have that copy here.
Okay, need a motion on the floor to agree, to accept this agreement.
I'll make
So
a
moved.
motion.
Tim,
Second?
Annette, second. All signifying, I was saying yes on roll call. Let's just do a roll call vote on this one.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Tim Bentley,
Yes.
Harold Gordon,
Yes.
Jerry Irvin,
Yes.
Annette Reedman.
Yes.
Okay.
The only other update, I will have our 216 budgets next meeting, our proposed budget for, projected budget for 2016, and kind of update of what we spent in 2015 for everybody. Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we got a Chief Tipton, would you come up, please?
Got a couple things today. First thing I'd like to talk to you about, I was going to add one to you on, we're putting on a fire investigation class, and want to ask for permission to do a small burn down at the ballpark on Saturday. We're in Liberty, Union County got a grant to hold this class, and we had 9 members of our department that wanted to hold this class over here, so they decided to have it over here so we wouldn't have to pay overtime. And there's 18 people in the class, so it kind of helped us out a bunch. So we have the classroom, and we wanted to do it over here, which really helped us. And there's people in it from Richmond, Everton, Liberty naturally, and Cambridge City. So we needed a place to burn. They're paying for the lumber, and right now we're building some small cubicles to burn, and we got some furniture, and we're just gonna burn a little spot, and then we have to show how the fire burned, just for our case studies. So I need to have permission to do a little fire down there. We'll put them out pretty quick, just to show a burn pattern. So I'd like to have permission to do that.
Do I need a motion to pass?
Question, when's it gonna happen?
Saturday morning,
This Saturday morning?
yeah. Yeah, there won't be a very big fire at all.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
A second.
All signifying by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign? Okay, that's,
And then the second thing, if you have David come up. David, we finally got a letter from a doctor last week. David's has a medical condition, and we're gonna have a pension board meeting tomorrow. And it looks like we're gonna be asking him for, to be put on medical pension. And we'll be using his contractual benefits till his pension's approved. So we'll be doing that tomorrow, the way we understand it.
Yeah.
So he'll be giving us a letter tomorrow.
Got a letter drafted that I'm gonna give to the chief and the pension board requesting that they start the process of the medical retirement.
okay.
So that's where we'll be with that issue. Dave's been a good employee.
You know, not something I wish to do, but it's just something my health's not able to do the job anymore because of the condition with my knees, so. And that's what the doctors at Indianapolis had said when I went for my fit for duty evaluation. They recommended I do the medical retirement, so.
So Troy, is there anything this board's got to do with this?
And we don't need to act on anything today because the contract,
Yeah,
his
okay.
vacation and stuff
Yeah, it says
came back in the first of the
exhaust all
year.
vacation and personal days,
Okay,
So,
according to the way I understand it, according to the statutes, so.
okay.
but we will bring it back to you when we're ready.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Troy.
All right, thanks.
David. Well, since we're a new board, is there any old business?
This is the new year.
I guess. Is there any miscellaneous business?
I do.
Go ahead.
It's not miscellaneous. As I went through the agenda, and everything that is on the agenda is extremely important. But I asked this group not to lose sight of the fact that we have a drug problem. And thank you for the way you asked the chief, and she was so in agreement with you that she would fight the drug problem. We also, I see Ken sitting out here, we also have a lot of homeless people. We have jobs that we still need to look into. And Harold, I know you agree, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I know you agree with everything I'm saying. But, I'm thinking if we could get some people in here to describe how bad the drug problem is, maybe the people of Connorsville would get on board with us and help us to identify it help the chief of police to identify it. And we could break this terrible bind that's around the city.
Now that you mentioned that, I talked to, you know Karen Isaacs?
No,
We had a meeting at Pizza King, and she was telling me about
best
Carol.
place for meetings.
Yeah, she was telling me about Carol's into this, and I told her, when we get all settled in, we're gonna bring her in and Carol in, now we'll bring them in, and we'll
Great.
start talking about all this stuff.
Okay, and I'm thinking the chief of police, the sheriff, I know there's a number of other people who deal directly with drugs. And I am no expert on it, and I need to be educated. But while I'm being educated, when you see 4 or 5 people die in 1 year's time because of a drug problem, I say it's time for the Board of Works, the City Council, the whole town of Connersville to stand up and say, let's get this under control. And as far as the jobs are concerned, I would say every time Dan wiggles his nose, we ought to applaud. We ought to encourage him and do everything we can to get jobs into this town and industry into this town. And these are two things that all of us want for the town of Connersville, and I know you want it more than anybody.
Yes, we do.
So-
I think we all want it.
Know this
Even the people
gal
sitting
is
out here
behind-
wants it,
Yeah.
yes.
Know that I'm behind you 100%.
Anybody else got anything? Tim? Okay, then we're gonna have the claims. Rosemary, you wanna speak to the claims, city claims?
It's all listed.
Okay, I need a motion to pass the claims for the city.
I'll make a motion. Pass the claims. City.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay. You're okay, Rosemary? Utility claims?
Motion to approve the utility claims.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, in your packet you have a public forum. Is there a Mr. Fuller in here? Okay.
Yes, sir. As Annette was speaking with the drug problem, I just want them to know that under Faith Builders Ministries, we have 1 Cent, Better Days. We also have Praying Parents now, that Better Days meets tonight at Faith Christian School. Has been there for about 3 months now. Derek and Danny also works with the jail ministry with the drugs. They've been working in there. So we do have a drug support group every Monday night, and we feed them. It's from 5 to 7. Praying Parents, we started that about a month ago. Nikki Irvin takes care of that. And they also, these are parents that are struggling with children on drugs. That's a support group for them. They meet the first and third Tuesday of each month at 6:30. And then also is what I'm coming here today for, is to ask for a boot drive for 1 Cent Ministries. That is our Bev Job home down on Central. That is our 1 Cent Ministry, the men's recovery home that we're doing. And we've come today to ask if we could get a boot drive for this coming Saturday for the 24th and Grand and 6th and Grand and 6th and Central, so they can raise some monies for, the bills are extremely high when the house is full. In the winter, we got sometimes $300, $400, $500 electric bills. And water bill, when you have 12 to 15 guys in there, it gets kind of high. So we're just needing to get a little extra support there, and so we were trying to figure out something we could do, and if we could do a boat drive. So that's what we had come from. But I wanted to bring you all aware of with the drug problem. If you need someone, Mayor, to help you with that, Danny and Derek are very good at that too, and very no
This-
knowledge about
Well,
it.
Karen Isaac, she's very heavy into this too.
Yes.
Maybe we need to bring, you know her?
Yeah, I know Karen
Okay,
too.
so maybe we need to bring all them in together and, because we need to stop it.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I need a motion to,
May I ask a question, Your Honor? Ken, did you say there are 12 to 15 people in
Usually
your-
on the average, I think Danny, I've been on vacation, just got back, I think he's got 8 or 9 there right now.
Okay, and he primarily deals with rehab.
Yeah, these are either men, he works with the parole here, Department of Corrections, he's got men from there, you know, and anybody that's dealing on drug issues. They have to be detoxed though, we're not allowed to take them. That's one thing that's desperately needed. Right now, we have to send everybody to Indianapolis to get them detoxed. Well, insurance reasons and us medically for something like that, we just don't have that facility to where we could do that. So they definitely have to be detoxed before they come into the shelter.
And then does the shelter pay that?
Hmm?
Does the shelter pay for that detox?
No, they've got to get up there somehow. I wish there was a fund, but I think it's Harbor Lights. I think that's the place where they send them. It is a detox center in Indianapolis. I think, I don't quote me this, I think it's like $125 or
Okay.
$200, something like that. Now, we have chipped in for one guy and we have helped one guy go up there, but, you know, we just barely make enough to keep the utilities going down there. We wish we could pay to have a lot of people to go and get a program going to where we could send them and then come back to Danny's. And like I said, and then when the House of David gets open, you know, we've got 2 houses here that can house men. You know, it's just the funds and everything, the support's just, you know, it's really hard to get at times. So. But that's where we're at. So that's why we're asking for a boot drive, boot
But
permits
you
to
told
have.
me things that I didn't know, and that's why I was explaining to His Honor that more people like you come in that tell about the drug situation, the more we can do something about it.
Absolutely.
And contracts and everything, oh my gosh, every department in Connersville, there are heroes, but the human beings, we need to deal with their problems too.
Absolutely.
So, thank you for coming in. I'll make a motion that this Saturday,
I
Do
just
they
have
have a
one
booth?
question.
Yes, sir.
What hours are we looking at? You said 3
Usually
locations.
about 10 to 4.
10
is
to
what
4,
the normal-
okay.
What we usually do.
Second the motion.
all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Passed.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
good luck, Ken.
Thank you.
Okay, under public forum, is there anybody else that wants to come up and speak to anything? Anybody on the board like to say anything? Well, then I'd take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed.
I need you guys to sign.